Demons, executives, and mind-controlled monkeys. I don't know if this is a reflex test with graphics, or I'm missing the mark. This is Favor for Gamer reviewing High Hell. The game is a first-person corridor shooter made by Terri Velmann of Devolver Digital, who has also made games like Heavy Bullets. The soundtrack is composed by rapper DoseOne. You are what appears to be a vampire girl fighting associates of Pitch Corp, a corporation that is run by the devil and has a lot of drug stock. Each level appears to be an office or a building owned by this evil company, which is cleared by completing objectives, then parachuting off of the building. The graphics are lightly detailed cel shade, but nothing really painful to look at. Bright neon colors set the punishing and abrasive tone that High Hell resonates on. The full picture's alright, the only thing that truly irked me was the lack of color variety and how unproportionate body parts can be. The Trap House soundtrack is a good reflection of the constant combat and demanding split-second timing, but it's a little too true to the gameplay at times. It's just another detail that you're gonna forget about after a couple of levels. The closest form of storytelling is the in-between level sequences, flirting between humor and hauntingly awkward. You see monotonous animations of burning money, sticking hot dogs, and other things that are best experienced firsthand. The one that made me raise my eyebrows was throwing bodies into a ball pit. I didn't know if it's an odd time waster or just a vague glimpse of how bizarre the world is. It reminded me of cartoons on Adult Swim. Shows that you don't know if it's just thrown together or there's an underlying meaning. Either way, I found it a lazy attempt to add some personality to the enemies. But I'll get on to what the game did right. The brutality of this game is not in the unknown of what the enemy will throw at you. It's in how well they do their few functions. Enemies are either shooting at you or rushing you. If you aggro them, prepare for a sprint that will challenge your speed a lot more than your move prediction. And if you're trying to be efficient and stealthy, it doesn't get you too far. The level design has an awesome way of forcing you into firefights. There's going to be a few decoratively off shots fired at you, but the remaining 99% will hit you unless you hide or dodge. But with your weapon being a solid replication of the Quake railgun, I didn't find myself wanting to do either of them. This thing felt so comfortable whether it was at long range or short range, and it's pretty universal. You can tap out the rapid fire or use a scope like zoom. The firepower is reliable as well. I never felt that the gun wasn't a match for certain enemies, and I did not feel overwhelmed when I engaged with multiple mobs. It kind of had me itching to fire it. I also hope that you like it as much as I do because it's the only thing that you're going to use. No certain ammo, beating certain enemies, you only have your skills and this gun. Level flow heavily revolves on this door kicking moment. Seeing the door fall while you try to make out what's in front of you is pretty cool the first 10 times it happens. You're going to be doing this a lot, and since you restart from the beginning each time you die, SWAT running into rooms becomes a lot more annoying than rewarding. If this very moment doesn't keep you in your chair, I highly suggest returning the game. Not because this is as good as the game gets, this is what you get. This is a $10 game, so keep in mind I'm picking apart the pointlessness, not the lack of content. To encourage you to explore past the main and side quests, there are dolls that you can collect and money you can burn. The payoff? Seeing some funny change in scenery and your score. I wish they gave you body armor or an awkward buff for finding things. My best guess is they wanted this game to be sped run, so they kept the playfield pretty bare bones and all user. To mix things up, there's several boss fights. I can tell they tried. Each one has a minuscule system to figure out for beating them, but I don't feel that the boss fights were too fluid. I felt I only got the upper hand when the boss would skip a step in their behavior cycle. I was more glad that it was over with than feeling rewarded. They do look pretty cool though. This game is very hard to binge play. The gameplay is a great idea and can be fun, but fighting will get procedural and the colors grow abrasive to stare at. You can also predict the level reset by death only gets more annoying as the levels get longer. All in all, if you're a competitive gamer in for a ruthless challenge, I highly recommend you get this game. However, I do not recommend this to casuals because in no way is this a wind down game. You will be pushed to your limits and paving your way through trial and error. And I'll repeat again, this game has very few things to offer besides the difficult gameplay. If you're still curious, I suggest you play a level a night, but that's up to you to decide if a $10 game is worth that. Thank you for watching Favor for Gamer, and make sure to leave what you thought of the game in the comment section. I try to pump out an indie game review once a week, so stick around if you like what you see so far.